It's 8:30 on Sunday morning, and I fed the fish, and I'm out of mealworms, so the birds are going to have to fend for themselves for a couple of days. I've ordered them. And I came out before and I'm thinking, it's going to rain today, because it was humid and cloudy and overcast and warm, and sure enough, it's raining now. It's not a tropical storm. It's a bit like Manchester rain. But we've got the mosquito police coming today, and what happens is we get team from village A go to village B and they inspect everywhere. They stand in water, you get in big trouble about the mosquitoes, you know. It's a malaria thing. But fair enough. Now in the satellite dish bird bath, I put 20 minute tropical fish, and they eat any mosquito larvae that's in there. But May's dogging me to empty this today, so I'm going to empty this. And it was an experiment to see if the birds would use it. Now, they feed here, but I've never seen them bathing here. I don't know why, but there it is. So I'm going to dismantle that in the next few minutes. And little things like any containers where there's a bit of water lodging, like it was lodging on top of there. You know, they pull the face about it, etc, etc. So it's another grand day in paradise, isn't it? Another grand day in paradise. Now, I was reading on the BBC website. You know the BBC, British Bullshit Corporation. Do you know it's the biggest propaganda site in the absolute world, the BBC? I used to think that it was the bastion of truth and impartiality. Not anymore. It might have been years ago. But they were talking about heat wave. Now the BBC, they only push and press what is the narrative of the day, i.e. what they want you to believe. And there were two articles on there. One was about a heat wave in India, and the other one was about a heat wave in Greece, and it said it had been the hottest it had been in Greece for X amount of time, and there was a couple of people who died going out, tourists going out without preparations. Now then, let's have it right. If you're going to go out in the sun, where it's hot sun, without a hat and without a bottle of water, then frankly, you deserve everything you get. Might seem a bit harsh, but we're not children. If a child gets sunstroke, you can understand that. They don't know. But a sensible adult knows if you're going to go out in the hot sun, wear a hat, wear sunscreen, and above all, take a bottle of water, and really don't use alcohol as your rehydration. So they were talking about that, and they're pushing this, and I'm thinking, you know what? The world is, we're seconds away from nuclear obliteration, and they're not covering that. They say how bad Putin is, and Putin wants to invade and take over the former Soviet bloc and create the Soviet Union again. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And the West have pushed and prodded and poked Putin. The guy, for me, has got the patience of a saint. The West, America and the lackeys, the UK, and a few other European countries have been supplying Ukraine with weaponry. I mean, again, I was reading this morning the losses in Ukraine, over 500,000 young men gone, dead. That's 500,000 families that are destroyed. That's 500,000 sweethearts that won't get to have husbands and won't get to have children with them. You know, it's a travesty. And that's not counting all the ones that are maimed and injured. And forget the maimed and injured, what about the ones who come back that are what they used to call in the First World War shell-shocked? They call these days post-traumatic stress syndrome, I think they call it these days. Combine going off to work. It beggars belief that they're just absolutely not addressing this. As I said, we're one mistake, somebody putting the finger on the button and launching a missile. So what's Putin done? He sent his fleet on manoeuvres, or part of his fleet on manoeuvres off Cuba. Effectively, he's saying to the Americans, well, what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. You can surround us with missiles and we have got to put up with it. Now, how do you like it if we're off your coast? And frankly, he's right. Do you know, Jeff and I years ago were talking about this. Probably 10 years ago. And at the time, America's national debt was something like, I think it was about $22 trillion. Not a cat in hell's chance of hoping of paying that back. And the only thing that really was keeping America going was the petrodollar. Now the Saudis have ended that. They've said, we've no longer got an exclusive with you guys. We will sell oil in whatever currency somebody wants to pay for it. And Jeff and I were talking about this, and we said the petrodollar had to end sooner or later. And the only thing that could save America was a successful world war, so they could continue with the hegemony that they've had for this last 70 years. Now, if they're going to go up against Russia, China, Iran, looks like Turkey are pulling out of NATO. And Turkey are the second biggest military in NATO. That will be a huge blow to NATO if they pull out. I think it's the Hungary Prime Minister said, you're not on, we're not playing these games. We're not going to war over nothing because you need to continue with your hegemony. So that's it, that's what the BBC's not reporting. I don't understand. I do understand, it's all about money, it's all about brass. I mean, what they want with Russia, they want to break Russia up and then they can control the region and rape it for the oil and the gas and the minerals. Don't forget, Russia is the biggest country in the world, landmass. And the interesting thing is, we've just gone over the D-Day celebrations, the D-Day anniversary on the 6th of June. And what we got to remember historically is that victory in the Second World War was largely due to the Russians and the Chinese. Yeah, Russia, I'm sure it was 20 million people, 20 million men Russia lost in defeating the Nazis. And the Chinese lost a phenomenal amount in their fight against the Japanese. So it's not all the UK and America and the Commonwealth. I mean, there was massive sacrifices from the Commonwealth countries. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, India. Yeah, we had a lot of Indian soldiers. Never forgetting the Gurkhas from Nepal. The Polish freedom fighters who came over to the UK to carry on the fight, as well as the French free fighters as well. The First World War was the war to end all wars. Then we had a second, and now it looks like we're going for a third. It doesn't matter to me in my 70s. My time is almost done. But it matters to the likes of Otto and Dido and the kids in the village and the youngsters just starting out. What have they done to deserve this? The answer is nothing. Well, it's election time, isn't it? It's election time in the UK. There's European elections, there's American elections looming, and let's hope that common sense prevails. Let's hope you're not tempted to vote red or blue. You break the system. The two-party system is dead. It doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve me, it only serves them. Mark Twain said that if voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. And with the two-party system, voting is an illusion of choice. And as one famous British politician said, Labour and Conservatives, they're two cheeks of the same ass. I was watching an interview with an American politician, and he was at the end of his time. He was retiring. He'd spent his lifetime in politics, and he was very candid. And he said, "Well, when you get elected, he said, what you concentrate on the next 4 years is getting re-elected, because you're on the gravy train. You've got your feet in the trough." I mean, if we look at the UK, Tony Blair never held office. He never held office. His first office was Prime Minister. He was an MP, Newton Aycliffe in the northeast, but he'd never held office. So then that guy is in power for a number of years, and his salary was something like 60,000 a year at the time. How does that joker end up a multimillionaire? Ask yourself that question. And the answer is look at Pelosi in America. I'm not having a go at the Democrats. I mean, they're all the same. They've all got their feet in the trough. We need to break the two-party system. It's got to be broken for the sake of humanity. When I've heard in America say, a vote for Trump is a vote against democracy. What? There's nothing democratic about the shenanigans that's been going on. I don't like him as a person. I actually think he's better than the one that's in. Anyway, such is life. It's raining and I'm going in. Bye bye for now.